All right, so here we go. We're going to get started with looking at the michaeldemond.com website. So what I want to show you here is on the front end, I'm using the calendar feature, and I'm going to show you my website and a couple other websites just as some examples of how works there. So here you have on the home page, scrolling through it, I'm featuring a upcoming workshop, a group coaching workshop, where I'm going to be helping people build their personal brand online, pretty much build the digital front door to their business online. So that's what this big banner here is about. If you click that banner, or if you go over to the coaching page, you'll be able to scroll down and you can read more about the upcoming workshop. You can see what the schedule is going to be, but you can also enroll. So here I have an opportunity for people to sign up for the coaching program. And if you'll notice, it's just giving them a description and there's an enroll button that they can click where they'll click that. So what I did behind the scenes is you'll notice that a calendar pops up, and then that calendar is actually going to show the dates that I set for that workshop for people to sign up. Now that workshop, for example, starts on the 14th, and that's the only day that people can start. So for this particular event, so you can create multiple event types. For this particular event, it starts on the 14th, and that's the only date they have. So when they go ahead and click that date, they're going to confirm the time because that starts at 10 a.m. I'm able to then have a form here where I can ask questions. So I get their first name, their email address, their phone number. I can set this up to ask some qualifying questions. But then if you notice, because I have the Pro, I was able to integrate PayPal. So now I've taken care of a number of different things in 1 or 2 clicks. I now have ability for people to be able to book the workshop online on the website. I have a calendar there so they can see when it starts. They can get all the information there. I have a lead capture form for the most part, so I'll be able to get their contact information. I can ask them qualifying questions, and I was able to collect payment all with this one tool. All of that is done all within there. All I'm going to do is get a payment notification when somebody signs up, and I'll get that form that came electronically with all the contact information. I can even take it a step further and have an automated email sent to those people to welcome them to the program, give them access to download, blah, blah, blah. So I'm using Calendly for that. That's just one example of one way that I'm using it. I show you on one of my client websites. This is the Barnes Realty Group, a real estate agency in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they also are using Calendly to book their consultations. So they offer 3 types of consultations for clients: people who are buying property, selling property, or interested in new construction of property. So if you were to go there and you were to look at their buyer's consultation, you'll see right away that we have a calendar that pops up. Now they decided when they were going to take these calls, but any day of the week here, people will be able to, let me close this here. People will be able to choose a date and time that works for them to schedule their consultation. What's nice about this is behind the scenes, the realtors here at the Barnes Realty Group will receive a form and they'll get the contact information, and then they can go ahead and schedule the consultation with their clients. Easy. Imagine having all these people calling your office to try to schedule an appointment, and then you're also looking at calendars and trying to find the right day. Like, you can't just do that in these day and age because people just don't have the time or the interest to do so. So next, I want to show you on the Be Well website. Here for Be Well, there's a movement that they have called the Women of Travel Rock. And here, they're building a women's wealth movement, or women who want to build businesses in the travel industry. And what I did here, you'll notice, is a little bit different. The first thing that I'm doing is I have to request consultation to join the Women of Travel Rock. People can put their email address inside of here and sign up and hit submit. After they do that, I remember I talked about earlier that process of sending an email. They're going to receive an email, a welcome email saying, hey, thank you for expressing interest. Go ahead and click this link and schedule your consultation time. So we were able to collect that email address and then integrate the calendar behind the scenes. So those are just a few examples how you as a small business owner can use this tool. Most of everything that I said you can do with the free account unless you were trying to collect payment. Otherwise, all those other things that I talked about, you can pretty much do within Calendly. Just on the free account. So I always recommend that you give it a try. That's usually how I do. I'll start this stuff out. I know I have a problem. I'll try to find a solution for it. And then I'll go find some technology that works well for it. So that is a great way to be able to use Calendly to be able to kind of streamline some processes so you don't spend all your day and your time going back and forth with people with messages trying to figure out a time that's going to work for you. So now what I want to do is just show you a couple things behind the scenes. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to do it because really what I want you to do is, one, recognize, do you have this problem? So if you do, this is a solution. If you do have this problem and you want to try Calendly for free, I want you to feel comfortable enough to at least know that it exists and then figure out if it's something that works for you, which is what the free trial is good for. So now I'm going to go behind the scenes and I just want to show you how some are set up. Now I can have a number of different event types as you see on here. I can color code, I can call them whatever name I want to call them. Some of them are free. If any of you have ever booked a 15-minute Friday, you actually have used Calendly. So if I go back to the the michaeldemond.com website, I have 15-minute Friday where every Friday I get 15-minute consultations for free for anybody who wants it to talk about a marketing related issue that they're having in their business. So when you click that, you'll be able to go to a Friday, and I've already set up when I'm available to do these 15-minute consultations. What's nice is when somebody books a time, it's off the calendar. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's gone. But then I'll get notified and I'll have that call with the client. One thing that is super cool that I did not mention is that my Zoom is also integrated as well as my Google Calendar. So when somebody books an appointment, it's already set to be able to schedule the Zoom, send them an email, put it on their calendar, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to chase behind it to be able to get that stuff to work. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that Zoom integration part. So that's how I'm using the 15-minute Friday. So there is a number of things that you can use this for. The 15-minute Friday thing that I do, speaking to business owners, like I'm helping people out. But I also want you as a business owner watching to figure out, can I copy any of the stuff that he's saying? I do this stuff and I show you and I explain it to you because I want you to know that this is what works and give you ideas of what you can do to kind of streamline things in your business. So this is a great way to do lead generation. I post my 15-minute Friday on all my social media platforms. I'll send it out through my email list, and I'm getting people who I may not have talked to because they may not have known that I even did for consultations. So I'm using it in that way as a lead generation, but then also to be able to build some relationships with people and help people who need some help. You'd be surprised what you can do in just 15 minutes. So going back to behind the scenes, so I talked about having all these different event types. Let's just set one up real quick and let me show you how it works. So I'm going to click new event type. And right away, it's going to ask me, is this a one-on-one or is this a group? So I use the group feature when I actually set up the workshop that's going to start in January because it's allowing a group of people to schedule the same time. But if you just want to set up something that's for individual one-on-one call, you can do the one-to-one. That's normally what you would probably use. Once you do that, you get an opportunity to be able to name your event. So let's just say I was going to do a free consultation event. I'll give it a title. When it asks about location, I can choose. Do I want this to be an in-person meeting? Is this a phone call? Is this a Google Meet, a Zoom? So you have a number of things that you can integrate with. But for me, I like to use Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and integrate Zoom. So now you have the point where you can put your description, and that's basically just telling the people, if they're looking at this, what is this event about? So what is this free consultation? What do I include? They have the ability for you to format, put bullet points in there, keep it short, keep it brief, just make it clear as to what it is. And then you can also give every event type a unique name. So like calendly.com/WeMergeMedia /15-minute Friday or / blah, 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 whatever it is, you can set that up and have a unique URL that takes people directly to that service. And then you can also color code this. So when you see it, you saw on my calendar, I had all those different event types. They're color coded and they're color coded to match just some things behind the scenes for me. So once I click next, I will go ahead and be able to then say, okay, when is this service available? Do you want to use your existing schedule or would you like to set some custom hours? So if I wanted to do free consultation only on Tuesdays at 12 p.m., I can come in here and say, okay, this event is only available on Tuesdays at this time, and the duration is only going to be for this time. I can set all of that stuff here, and then I can hit next, and then I will be able to make my event live, and then I have a link, and I'm ready to go. So a couple of things that people do is they'll post these on their website. So if you look at the Barnes Realty Group, I actually created their forms and embedded it on their website. So you have a nice calendar that pops up and people know none the different. They see everything is right there on the screen in front of them. Another thing that you can do is you can take your link and you can just put in the signature of your email, do you need to schedule a consultation or would you like to take advantage of a consultation? Stop the screen share here. You can put that little link in the subject line or in the signature of your email, and then people will always have access to that. So whenever you're communicating with people, you'll be able to easily just go ahead and give them access to do so without all the back and forth. So that is Calendly. That's the automation part I wanted to talk about. There's one more thing that I want to show you that I thought was pretty cool. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. I did that prematurely. Hello, Daphne. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Dion. Thank you. I'm showing off your website today. So I'm showing off your website because I think it's cool. I love the way that we use the features there. Let me show you one more time. So another thing that I did, I was kind of playing around a little bit, and I recently relocated to Arizona and I had to switch my business over, the address and all that other stuff. And I know how important it is for people to be able to find you in your business. Okay, yeah, I am. I want to make sure I was sharing. Go back here. How important it is for people to be able to find you. And I think about all the times that, I've been looking for a service or looking for a product. I'll go to Google and I'll look it up, especially for restaurants. I'll look for restaurants, and if they don't have good pictures, if they don't have a website, like it's part of my decision process. Like I need to see what this stuff looks like, or I need to be able to read some reviews. So one of the things that I've done recently, like every business can actually get a Google My Business listing. It just takes maybe a couple of weeks because they send you a postcard to verify that your business operates in the location that you say it is. You have to enter the code, and then from there, it's almost like building a little mini website in the Google universe, and you definitely have to take advantage of it. But one of the things that I've done for Calendly is that after your consultation, you can set it up to say, hey, 15 minutes or an hour after this consultation ends, send them a link or an email. So what I've decided to do is just set up my consultation for 15-minute Friday just as a test. And I send people an email after their 15-minute Friday consultation. And I simply ask them, hey, thank you for scheduling a consultation. I hope our time together was helpful. Would you mind taking a moment to write a review? And what I did is I took them over to Google and give them a link directly to be able to write reviews on my Google My Business page on Google. So this is a very simple way for you to be able to get some testimonials that you can use to grow your business and attract new people. I was trying to figure out, like, what do I want to send afterwards? And I thought this was a good one because here, because people have booked consultations with me, they get access to be able to go there and do so. And as a consumer, when you're looking for a business to be able to shop with or to hire for a service, reviews become important. You want to know, do these people do what they say they can do? And you want to know what other people think. So I do it all the time when I'm looking at restaurants. If I'm looking for places to shop and that sort of thing, I go to the Google listing. And if you don't have one, you are just not capable of me considering you because I don't even know that you exist. So that's something to think about. That's free advertising for you. That's free promotion to you. And that's a great thing to be able to do when you're using Calendly or any consultation, regardless of what system that you're using. Go ahead and think about afterwards asking people, hey, can you take a moment to write a review? Because those things are powerful. So we have a question here from Carrie. Can you use other payment other than PayPal? That is a good question. I know that they are built on a platform that allows a number of integrations, and I'm going to just take a real quick look here. View all integrations, because that is a good question. I use PayPal primarily. Okay, so I do see Stripe. So they do take Stripe, PayPal. There's like a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't even see a search. I would say, Carrie, to go on there and create a free account and look up in the integrations to see, which payment platform you're looking for, and then see if they take that. It would be cool to have multiple options available based on what people have. But that is a great question. I see Stripe on there, so I know that they take multiple, but there could be some others that I'm not familiar with. I got another question here from Carmen. This is a great question because a lot of us work from home. And do you use a non-commercial address or can you use a PO box? That is a good question. I set mine up for now with my home address, and I was like, do I really want to do that? But I did. I set it up. I believe you can turn it off once you verify the address where you can do so. Let me just take a look because I actually feel like I may have. Yeah, I actually did do that. So my address isn't shown on my listing. So you just put the address in there to get the postcard, and then once you get the postcard with the code to verify, you'll be able to put that code in. But if you go to my listing, I just have a very general pin that's dropped to show that I'm in Phoenix, but I don't actually have a physical address showing. So that's a great question. A PO box, I would think that you can. That would be something to look into because really they just need to be able to send a postcard, make sure you receive it at the address that you provided, and that you get the code to verify your account. So great question. All right. Jackie, thank you for tuning in. Talisa, thank you for tuning in. So, all right, folks. Crystal, thank you. Velma, hello. I'm seeing all some familiar names for the Tech Talk Tuesday crowd. So here we are. I said 20 minutes, and we're at 21 minutes. That's it. That's Calendly. I'm going to go ahead like usual, and I'll put a link in the comments here below so you can go ahead and try it out, see if this is something that might work for you. I do hope that the information that I shared and the examples that I showed you give you some idea of how you might be able to incorporate this in your business and just streamline some of the processes so that you can actually focus on what you got into business to do. All right. So thank you for tuning in for Tech Talk Tuesday. Remember to go ahead and share this because somebody else might need this information. 15-minute Friday is coming up this Friday. As you saw on the calendar, I think there's 2 spots left. We have one or two Fridays left in this month. So there aren't too many 15-minute Fridays left to get your free consultation to talk about how I can help you use technology in your business to streamline things. So you are totally welcome. Thank you. I appreciate everyone for tuning in today, and I'll see you next week on the next episode of Tech Talk Tuesday. Take care.